Top 97, Funk Flex, I'm here. What number is that? Number 3 song right there. I want to talk without the bomb today, too. I'm not going to use it. I want to talk clean and clear. So, we're inside 97 minutes commercial free, of course. Funk Flex, I'm here. Tickets. I got a lot of things to give away. Yeah, I got a lot of things to give away. Okay, and 8 o'clock, I'm going to get on the set. We're inside the countdown. I want to, in a little while, I'm going to play a couple more songs, then I'm going to discuss it. What kind of brought this subject matter up was Red Alert and I played at the YouTube party. The YouTube holiday party. And I posted some pictures of us from the party. You know, shout out to Kelly, shout out to Lyor. So Lyor Cohen was there, of course. He was in some pictures that we posted. And I noticed the comments, a couple from regular people, but a couple from like old Roc-A-Fella people. The people who used to be there. I've just noticed the comments. I responded on my gram and I said, you know what? Because I've always stayed away from this subject and I'm going to discuss it today. So let's play some more songs, some more joints. What are we going into? Number 2, Talk to Me, Tory Lanez, Rich the Kid. And then I'm gonna talk about it. You know? Not really a rant today. I'm gonna talk about it. Let's go. I don't even care today. All right. Let me sit down, New York. And let me move my coat. If you know anybody that knows anybody, I'm gonna tell. I don't even want to call it a story. I'm gonna call it facts because I was there. So I'm gonna tell you the story from my eyes. Okay? So like I said, I played at YouTube for their holiday party. Me, Red Alert, shout to Brittany Sky. Had an amazing time, right? And turn it down just a little bit more. Okay? So I just want to give you the nature of the beast so you understand. I called Lyor because I know he always throws an amazing holiday party. And I said, hey, not only would I like to attend, I'd love to play for a little while. Half hour, 15 minutes. And he said, yeah, I'd love to have you. And then Kelly called me back. And she said, hey, how long would you like to play? I said, well, I don't want to step on any toes. I know you already have your DJs set. And I think she'd hit me back and she said, hey, what, an hour, 2 hours? I said, well, if I'm not stepping any toes, it's up to you guys. And he said, how much would you want? I said, I'm good. I said, I'm okay. We originally was coming to hang out for a half hour. We're gonna have a nice time. So then, I think she hit back. She said, we want to pay you for your services. I said, well, whatever you guys feels good. Good. We move on. Cool. So I just want to give the nature of the beast so that you understand my evening yesterday. So I had an amazing time. I posted some pictures of Lyor Cohen. Right? And I hope that while I talk about this and I mention a few people's names, I want you to feel free to go to Google because I know that's what the young audience understands. All right? So I guess he had the symbol. Well, people think that's a white power symbol.
The OK symbol.
The OK symbol. Because where I come from in my age, that's OK.
Yeah.
And it was a picture with him and Red Alert. And I enjoyed seeing him and Red Alert get together. I think they've known each other for a long time. I think they've done some couple great things together. And I think they've bumped heads along the way as well. So I took pride in putting that picture up, Right. 2 people I knew individually. And just, maybe their paths didn't cross anymore, but start to cross again. Cool. So I saw a lot of, I guess, Roccafella / I don't know, I don't want to offend anybody today. Ex-Roccafella people, I guess, Dame Dash fans, which is nothing wrong with that, in the comments, attacking Lyor. And, I'd rather know music, bro. You could turn that off. That dude of James is giving me a headache. You know, and turn my headphones up a little bit. Okay, so on top, so you know, I look at the comments, and normally, you know, New York, I like to roust the bouse in the comments. So I said, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I said, in the beginning of my mind, I'm going to leave it alone. Then I got in there. And then I saw people adding Dame Dash, Duster Popping, and they kept using the word culture vulture. And the word culture vulture, New York, it really bothers me. It bothers me when people take that phrase and attach it to something and with no merit. And I'm going to tell you that I swear is the truth. And I'm going to tell you how this game went. 1990, I used to DJ for Chuck Chillout. What's the young man from Brooklyn? Jazzo. I was on WBLS every Friday and Saturday night. Jazzo brought Chuck a record. It was a Hawaiian Sophie. And I think it's 89-90. It was different sounding, weird sounding. The video was a little off-putting, but people really gravitated to it over time. And Jazzo at the time was a very respected lyricist in Brooklyn. He was on Capitol Records at the time. This is 1990 when artists weren't being put on majors. And he had JayZ on this song. And I remember something. He didn't have it featured. They were like equal billing, which I thought was cool. And I'll tell you something. Jazzo being super respected, I think was harder for JayZ to be on that song because I think he got criticized for it, but he was dope on that particular song or on that particular project. And I remember Jazzo maybe not putting out any more music. And then I don't remember hearing a lot from JayZ after that in 90. And then maybe, I want to say 92, 93, and I could have my years wrong. Dame Dash had a label situation on Atlantic. Shout to Clark Kent, because Clark Kent was the person I think signed that deal at Atlantic. And the reason why I'm saying a lot of names today, New York, because I saw a piece of artwork where Roc-A-Fella Records did like a whole arm tree of all the different people that they put in the business. I'm going to tell you all the people that they don't mention today. Because I just want like culture vulture and this, that, and this, that. And I'm going to tell you why this story bothers me and annoys me. Because it annoys me people from my era twisting the history book when we already got the youngins that never want to tell the truth. But when I watch 40 and 50-year-old men that I know I saw it, you see, what they didn't account for is I am relevant in 2018 and my eyes, and I saw it. And I know JayZ's not on the gram and Lyor's not on the gram. That's why people lie so much. So I don't want to skip anything. Let me get back to Atlantic Records where Clark Kent worked. Now, let me explain Clark Kent to you, New York. He was the most respected DJ coming out of Brooklyn. He also produced big hit records. So him signing Dame Dash's situation or influencing it was a big deal because of Clark Kent's credibility. Then one of the groups was Original Flavor, which Ski was in, and Ski, another person that they don't mention, used to produce a lot of the songs. And I think Ski was one of the rappers. So I want to place the connection with you. Atlantic Records, Clark Kent. Ski was a member of Original Flavor. He did the tracks. JayZ does a feature. Because all these people were missing on that tree that came out. All right? Now, these were people, Original Flavor wasn't the greatest group, New York. Decent. JayZ had a great verse on that song. His swag came through in the vid. You know? You saw it. He was on some wiggity wah, which was trash. But him as an individual, you saw something. You didn't know what. Now, all of this is happening. Redman's popping. Wu-Tang's popping. Not even Bad Boy yet. Uptown Records. Diddy's making great remixes for Mary J. I'm painting a picture. These dudes ain't on the map yet. And the game is a certain way. And I can't stand when people tell the game wrong. I got nothing to benefit New York. I wasn't part of any of this success. Right? I want to just get that across. I was not part of it at all. Okay. So now where are we at? Atlantic, Clark Kent. Right? Clark Kent always told me about original flavor. He always beat me in the head when I was on the radio. He always beat me in the head about JayZ. I was like, whatever, And I may get my timeline wrong somewhere in here, but somehow JayZ makes his way to PAYDAY Records. Now, is that In My Lifetime? I think that's the song. This is before Dead Presidents. In My Lifetime, PAYDAY Records. PAYDAY Records is a record label that had a ton of credibility because of DJ Premier, and he had a lot of hits. It was owned by Patrick Moxie. When you got a record on PAYDAY at the time, it meant something as a DJ. JayZ's now on that label. Credibility inherited. But he's a dope MC. And I never want to take away from that. A dope MC. His records are getting better. In My Lifetime, I'm going to tell you something. AZ was cranking at the time. And I remember I used to say, I remember some street cats in the Bronx saying to me, "Yo, Flex, you're going to play that JayZ." And I said, "You mean AZ?" It was like, "No, JayZ." I said, "Bro, I don't know JayZ. I know AZ." Because that used to get confused in the beginning. You remember that, Tat. Am I lying?
No, that's a fact.
They used to get confused. Because AZ was that street dude making them songs. Lyrical.
Yes.
Out of Nas's camp.
Yes.
Correct.
But from Brooklyn.
And from Brooklyn. Cool. I dare anybody to tell me I'm lying today. Okay. So then now we're at PAYDAY Records. JayZ signed there, In My Lifetime, which Clark Kent might have produced. And I remember Clark Kent used to be in the videos. So that used to give the project credibility, because I respected Clark Kent as a DJ from Brooklyn producing hits. And then I used to see Damon J. So that was, for me, the credibility for a lot of people. Correct? And you being from Brooklyn, Tat, turn his Tat's mic on. Me being from Brooklyn, is that correct?
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
We a talk show today. We're going to talk about this. Okay. Now we're at PAYDAY. I believe it's produced by Clark, and I'm not sure. Here's the song. Boom. It's bubbling.
Yes.
Right? Somewhere Dame Dash is in the equation. But remember, for Dame, incredible hustler, incredible marketer, he's also coming from a situation in Atlantic where those groups didn't happen.
Correct.
So I looked at him as a person as, I got to see what's happening, because you had two groups in there that were okay, mediocre, but they didn't move. And now you're telling me JayZ's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. We're at PAYDAY Records. Now we go to JayZ's next label, which is Freeze/Priority /SleepingBag. I miss it. Something else was in there. Priority /SleepingBag/Priority. What was somebody else? Freeze. Roc-A-Fella. Yeah. Priority. Sleeping Bag. Will Sokoloff. And Sokoloff, don't get mad at me, one of the biggest guy that never pay out royalties. And Will, you know I'm your friend, but I'm going to keep it so 1,000 today, my brother. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He then puts out, what's the song?
wasn't YNC.
No. Dead Prez.
Oh, correct.
Was it Dead Prez?
Correct, because
Dead Presidents.
Yes.
It's on Freeze, Priority. Let me tell you something, New York. This label was garbage. If it wasn't for Jay-Z's swag and Dame Dash's marketing and push, nobody would have knew they were on this label. Priority Records was the label that used to have hits with Ice Cube and people like that. Freeze Records used to put out house records. Sleeping Bag Records used to rob people. They were in a bad situation, but they had good music, and Dame Dash was making it happen. I didn't know Biggs. I don't know. And today, I don't know if he's the money man or what he is or what he was behind the scenes.
He was quiet partner.
He was quiet financial partner. I did not know him. He didn't exist in my mind yet. I didn't see him yet. Those are the two guys I saw running around. Now, in this area, Christy Clifford used to manage Kid Capri, still does. Kid Capri used to do college tours. Jay-Z used to open up. I am just giving you all the names that don't get mentioned because I saw that family tree the other day. And I just want to acknowledge some people. And then I saw how people were with my picture of Lyor. So I'm like, if they want the story, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give you Sidebar, New York. You know that song? What's that song? Annie? What's that called?
Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock Life. They don't mention this either. Hard Knock Life was a break beat that the 45 King made. He only gave a few DJs those pieces of vinyl. Kid Capri was one of those DJs. And I might have my tour wrong, but I'm going to tell you, there was a tour, the Bad Boy Tour.
I think that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
The Bad Boy Tour that Puffy was very generous to put them on. Right? Because they love to scream culture vulture.
They do.
That's their word. Culture vulture. Kid Capri was playing this breakbeat because he was the intermission DJ in the arena. In playing that breakbeat, JayZ or Dame walk up to Capri and say, "What's that song?" It's Annie, a breakbeat produced by the 45 King. Hence, here comes the song. They never mention that. Now I want to divert back. Is it Payday? Where were we at?
We were at...
No, we were at Freeze slash Sleeping Bag slash Priority Records, the garbage label they were on.
Yep.
But those guys made it work. Those guys' swag and effort made it work.
That's when they put the Benz out in the street covered.
That was no. That was until they got the DefJam money. Let me keep this all in perspective, Tat.
Sorry.
No, it came.
I saw Priority on
now.
That.
Here comes ain't no, right?
Yeah.
They never mentioned Big Cap.
No.
Because Big Cap was the one that was playing that record, not Flex, not anybody else. Big Cap was playing that record. That Irv Gotti got to him. They never bring up Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti, New York, because Dame had a situation at Atlantic Records that I didn't really dig, and I think a lot of other DJs didn't. At that time, we wasn't picking up his phone calls. Not personal. It was just when somebody has it. It's just the way it is. If you work in records or whatever it is. Granted, Dame was cocky. I want to tell you something, New York. His voice and the way he spoke to us about Jay-Z in that very beginning, he was the cog / mouthpiece / genius at that Roc-A-Fella. Dame Dash once told me, "Flex, you sleeping and you're playing yourself." And I'm going to keep it 1,000. I would act tough in front of him, but then I would ask Cap or somebody, "Yo, what is he talking about? Is this Jay-Z popping? Because I don't want to miss it." But he made you think. And I'm going to tell you something about Roc-A-Fella, New York. They came through in the bad boy era, which is the brightest shining light that you could ever see. And I commend them because to be successful in the bad boy era meant you were really a real brand. And they did that, man. And I'm going to tell you something. In their defense, a lot of people didn't believe in them, me included. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't give them the benefit of the doubt. And a lot of people didn't help them. You know, I did see that. And because Bad Boy was still strong. Biggie was still out. You had your veterans that was still out. You had LL that was still out. All type of artists. So you were kind of like, hey, this isn't really where I'm at. Now, Ain't No comes out. And Cap is playing the dirty. They didn't even have a clean on the vinyl. So I didn't have the clean to play on the radio. And I might have been mentioning it on the radio. I think I played the instrumental saying that I don't have the clean. I can't play the words, but Cap played this in the tunnel on Sunday, and it means something. Right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Irv Gotti, who I know from Mike Geronimo and all his credible artists he was putting out, and I had a respect for him, was the only one that was able to call people about Roc-A-Fella, right? And then he called. He said, Flex, I got the clean downstairs. Mm-hmm. He said, is it okay if Gotti, if you say I'm not, we're going to tell the truth. And Gotti said to me, is it okay if I bring Dame Dash around? Or something? I said, no, I'm cool. You can give me the record. For no other reason, it's just I didn't know him. No, cool. We're at Ain't No. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to tell you something, because they always use the word culture vulture with DefJam. Roc-A-Fella didn't want to be on DefJam in the beginning. They offered them a bag to promote Ain't No. They offered them a bunch of cash asking, could you promote the record? Meaning they know they wasn't good enough to be on DefJam, but could you promote it? And they went to Kevin Lyles. Now, I want to explain these people that these people call culture vultures, because I want to bring it in modern terms for you youngins. Kev Lyles was where? Atlantic Records. So what's that? That's Trey Songz. That's T.I. What else is over? Bruno Mars. What else? Cardi's over there. And
300 the label.
Wait, no, but not I'm gonna skip it. But Lyor rejuvenated Atlantic Records.
Correct.
So that's
T.I.
Mike Kaiser, right?
Yep.
I'm giving you some names. So that's Lyor. So then Lyor now and Kev, what do they go on to do? 300 Entertainment, yep. Which is Fetty, which is who else? Rich the Kid.
Young
who
Thug,
else?
Young
Thug. Who else? So I want to give you something for you youngins to understand all the names we rattling off. Right? That's like 3 different labels. Def Jam consisted of all these guys at one label. Lyor, Kevin Lyles. Who am I missing? Mike Kaiser, who's presently at Atlantic. Julie Greenwald, right? Yeah. All these vultures, right? They were at one label, yeah. Right? This one label had LL, Redman. Who else they had over there? Method Man. What else? Montel Jordan. What else? Slick Rick. I'm just going through the here. Now, I want to ask you something, New York. Remember, this time period I'm talking about, Rockefeller's on freeze / sleeping bag / robbery records. Right?
Yeah.
They're on a garbage label.
Yep.
Garbage. They go into that label asking if they can drop a bag to get their record promoted. Mr. Kevin Lyles, Mr. Lyor, and Mr. Mike Kaiser come up with a better idea. We got this Nutty Professor soundtrack. Why don't we put your song on there? Why don't we help you shoot a good video? Why don't we fix your life? Dame, you remember that, bro? You remember that, bro? Because New York, I'm going to tell you something. Because that record was so hot, and because of all the effort that Jay and Dame and Biggs put in, I was watching because I was like, man, if they really get this together, this is going to be something. Something else going to start. So everybody was asking labels questions. Where they going to end up? Who's going to pick it up? How they going to get off a freeze? So with a soundtrack, New York, comes a budget. They were already successful. They didn't need Roc-A-Fella. But they saw something that was golden in them that a lot of other people didn't see, including me. A lot of people didn't see. Saw something golden. Now, here comes the project. Well, not even the project. The album doesn't happen. The single happens, right?
Correct.
Single's out. All right? This is they're still, and that's still on freeze, but they're working and promoting it, making it look like a DefJam project.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Lyor Cohen, that's what he did for them, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The culture vulture. I want to know where in there was there a culture vulture situation. Because I'm going to tell you about that word culture vulture, New York. A culture vulture can only succeed if a sellout wants to sell it. A culture vulture cannot take anything from anybody unless there's a greasy, sleazy person representing the culture and he can be bought. A culture vulture can't operate on his own. He needs a sleazy culture representative. So I'm breaking this down clean tonight. Now, here we are. They're at DefJam. And you know why they had to be at DefJam? Because Bad Boy Records was turning their motherfucking lights off. Let me tell you something, New York. If Roc-A-Fella didn't sign with DefJam, JayZ would have been Mike Geronimo. You hear me? He would have been a respected lyricist that slipped to the bottom of the toilet because he was in a bad label situation. Because those guys who use the word culture vulture, they cut that freeze, nasty, sleeping bag, nasty priority deal. They lucky DefJam got them out of the toilet. But you know what, New York? This is what it is. You want to know what it is? It's always easy to take the Jewish guy, the guy who's successful in 2018 still. It's easy to point at that guy. It's easy to make him the bad. I don't know Lyor in New York. I don't know him. You know what I know? I was on the streets on this radio when they was trying to get their game going. I can speak from that point of view. So when you guys make your little pieces of paper of your family tree of all the people you help, why don't you make a tree of all the people that helped y'all? And I'm going to tell you, because I'm not calling names tonight. You know why? Because I'm going on the movement, because I saw that Roc-A-Fella movement in my comments. You guys used to be the swag guys, the guys that didn't want to talk to nobody, the guys who knew it all, the silent guys, moving, big dogs. After time, you got forgotten. Now you want to speak and be heard, and now you want credit. Lay in the same bed you laid in 96, lay in the same bed in 2018. Lay in that bed. Because I'm tell you something. I know anybody hearing me at the sound of my voice, I know people don't like me. And when I hit my deathbed, I ain't got one number to call. You know why? Because I'm going to lay in my bed that I created. Because that bed got me through a lot of ways in the beginning. It may not work on my deathbed, but I'm okay with that. But I'm going to wear it like a champ. Y'all need to wear it like a champ. And I'm going to tell you something, New York. I'm going to tell you why these guys are bitter. Because a lot of these Roc-A-Fella dudes were talking crazy to DefJam. The arm that was feeding them. They want to videotape people and put them on blast and make them look erratic and funny. JayZ did the right thing. The game was changing. It was time to refine your personality and do things better. If you chose that direction and you chose that exit on the highway then, choose that exit now, bro. Don't look at people with that culture vulture word. It's a bad word, man. And I'm surprised at y'all. Because you know what's so funny? Y'all used to give credit. Now it's about what you can take and what you can form. It's easy to scream, you want to be independent in 2018. Mother, you can't get a deal. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do the independent. I think independent's a great thing for people. That culture vulture word, I ain't letting that fly no more out here. It ain't flying with me no more. And don't apply pressure to me on my gram, on a friend that I post. Because I'm going to tell you about that Lyor Cohen, bro. That Lyor Cohen road managed for Run DMC. Game over. Y'all ain't going to top that. There ain't nobody in this music business going to top that. Road manager for Run DMC. The boy met them at a concert and became a roadie first. Russell Simmons started with nothing in college. I think Kev was in D.C. promoting records. Kaiser was working at that. What was that place he was? He was working at like Best Buy or something nuts.
Well,
it was something.
The Wiz.
The Wiz, whatever it was. And you use that culture vulture word, they cut you millions, bro. They signed each and every one of your artists for $500,000 and better. They gave you $1 million budget on marketing budget on every artist you put out. I know my numbers. I was signed at the label at the same time. You got bonuses. Y'all did tours. DefJam Records made y'all, bro. They made you. They changed your life. I repeat, JayZ would have been Mike Geronimo. Matter of fact, at the time, Mike Geronimo was bigger than him, bro. He was bigger. He was bigger. We're going to stop this culture vulture talk. You know why? Because anybody that uses it, I'm going to check them. You know why? That's the word that you use for your own failures, for the things that you didn't accomplish in life. Be a man. Be men in this game, man. This rap thing, you veteran hip-hop dudes, be men, man. Be men. Stop, man. I'm going to call people on it from now on moving forward. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling people on it. Stop. My brother, Dame, I respect you in the utmost way. I'm going to tell you something, New York. Dame Dash helped me in a very dark time in my life. I was in a management with Jessica Rosenblum I wasn't happy with. I love her, but at the time, I just wanted space. I was sleeping till 5 p.m. in the daytime, and I didn't have any focus. And for some reason, I was supposed to meet Dame Dash and JayZ at their office. What was that street? It was like down John Street. Yeah. And Dame Dash walked me through John Street, Roc-A-Fella. He showed me where they did the artwork. He showed me where, like, they go on tour and how they do things. And I said, wow, y'all do this here? He said, yeah, we do it here. And I learned a lot from him. He gave me his realtor. And I called my man Bobby J, rest in peace. And I said, yo, I just sat with Dame Dash and he put this office thing together. The label ain't doing it from, they doing everything. I said, I got to take over my clubs. I got to take over my own mixtapes. He said, yo, I think Dame told me, yo, you got a tape. You can get a budget and overhead. I said, really? And I put my foot forward. I learned a lot from him, man. But my brother, you are a liar. You are a liar. And it bothers me, man. I like you, man. It bothers me so much. You are a liar. And you lie because JayZ and Lyor ain't on that gram to call you on it. It's not cool, bro. It ain't cool. That Roc-A-Fella legacy is amazing. New York, I never seen nothing like it. I never seen dudes grind from the bottom like that with no distribution. I remember they used to go on tour, college tours with their own money, spending their own bread. I never seen that. Yo, JayZ went from a guy that couldn't have a stage show to tearing them stages down to a place I didn't understand. And then became that dude, like going at dudes on songs. I didn't understand it. And guess what? Y'all talk all that talk, y'all never created another Hove. So obviously, man, the cog was someplace else. And let me tell you something. All you Roc-A-Fella dudes love to be on the gram and talk and talk and talk. That big business was being conducted between Lyor and Jay from the gate. All that hooping and hollering, like, that was never going to fly. Irv Gotti, instrumental in that situation. Clark Kent, instrumental. Ski, instrumental. Puff, putting y'all on tour, instrumental. Kid Capri, giving you the biggest record of your life, instrumental. When y'all make them trees, why don't you make a new one? Or maybe I'll make it and put it out today. Because if y'all going to use the word culture vulture, I'm going to use some words too. That's what I'm using today. I'm tired of it, bro. Like this whole thing because of the color people's skin in 2018. So it's like, well, you know, if we attack him and he's white, you know, he going to get the brunt of it. And, you know, we ain't doing good. So let's just attack him. Stop, man. It looks bad. I'm calling y'all on it. That's what we doing moving forward. I'm not being personal. I'm not being like, you know, like they act like they did DefJam a favor, bro. DefJam was rolling multi-million-dollar, bought out 5-6 times. Russell, I don't know how many houses the boy had. And I'm going to tell you something. Some people like to say Dame Dash stole. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as stealing money at a record company. Record company money is free money when you have a label deal and overhead. Stop. It's the only business where you can take money and nobody wants to kill you. Stop. He didn't take money. The president or whatever Dame's position is, you can't steal money because I don't want to knock him on nonsense. All he did, I'm going to be honest, New York, Dame Dash did nothing wrong back then. And today he's done nothing wrong. He handled it a certain way. He was cocky. He did it the way he needed to do, and people became very successful, and a lot of people made money from him. The only thing he's doing wrong in 2018, he's now blaming other people for anything he's uncomfortable with. Because the boy got success. I've never seen a sore winner. I've never seen this in my life. He did nothing wrong. And he's done nothing wrong today. It's just like, bro, like, it is what it is. Lyor is still successful. Jay is still successful. That's it. They didn't take you along for the ride, bro, because you had a big mouth. But it's okay. Dude, make your bread. Make your bread, man. Stop pulling everybody down into the trenches with people in this business, man, because y'all ain't going to pull me. That ain't going to happen because I'm going to tell the truth. If I offended anybody today, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. What time is it? It was crazy. I didn't mean to offend nobody, but I just told you what it is. All right? When I see the Roc-A-Fella brand making trees, make some trees of the people that help. Let me tell you something, New York. Reasonable Doubt was a album that took a long time to bubble. And I don't want anybody to get mad at me. And you Roc-A-Fella people that work there, you remember this. People laughed at that album cover with that outfit JayZ had on. True or false?
Nah, that's facts.
Did they laugh at that album cover in Brooklyn?
They was wondering what he had on.
Right? Why? The hat?
The hat.
The scarf?
It wasn't a thing yet to be dressed in a 3-piece suit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't looked at. He had
now,
vision.
What we commend them on is they never let that stop them.
Correct.
And I'm going to tell you about that Reasonable Doubt album, New York. Every day it came out of more and more cars.
Yeah.
Every day a record would go in the tunnel. Every day JayZ would he'd do a freestyle somewhere. Let me tell you the magnitude of JayZ, New York. For you youngins, Ain't No was a song where he had a feature from a girl that nobody knew, Foxy Brown. A new rapper put a new person on the last verse that nobody knew. I thought he was bananas.
Yeah.
He gave Foxy Brown life. I didn't know who she was. Gave her career. You Roc-A-Fella dudes, why don't you go home and print a new tree? And try and print that tree without using the word culture vulture. And print that tree with the people that helped. Why don't y'all do that? Instead of using that word culture vulture. Because I'm going to keep it 1,000. The Lyor thing, I'm not standing still for it no more. I am not standing still for it. I'm not standing still for it with the Kevin Lyles. I'm not standing still for it. I was there. I saw it. That's it. Challenge me on it. Call me a liar. I dare any of y'all to call me a liar on anything I said today. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. Now play something.
WQHT and WQH.
Take it back. Take out Ain't No JayZ and play it now. Play it now. You know why we gonna play it? Because this is the record that changed y'all lives. Everybody want to be smooth and cool. Be smooth and cool like y'all was in 96. Because everybody want to get in Lyor's office then. Now they not so cool. Yeah, let that rock.